Welcome back, everyone. We're going to play another turn as MA-Ermor in the game Garden of Good and Evil. This is Lucid, and we'll hop right to it. So I sent out the message last turn where I let everyone know that Golgoth was waiting for them and that they should send more armies so that I can raise them again after I vanquish them to join my armies of the dead. So Scaleria replied back saying that they defy me, and that the risen dead are meant to serve the living, not rule over them. We shall not bow before your puppets of flesh and bone. So Scaleria is a nation of human priests and mages that resurrect the dead into hordes of undead legions. Machaka says that you think we fear death. A long time ago in a different age, Lion taught us that death comes to all. We see that death has already found you, however, so Lion should keep silent. Hyena, however, would laugh at your empty threats. It's a funny bit of role-playing. Nazca, we do enjoy dancing, although our rotted wings no longer allow us to dance the way we once did. Nevertheless, we do advise that if you wish to continue in your flirtations, you find some other way to compliment us. Our numbers are indeed impressive, but yours even greater so. We will send some more envoys to visit your court shortly. So Nazca has let me know that they have some reinforcements coming, which I will welcome. Though, if it's a 300 stack army, that would be a little unfortunate. Ryla says that if you walked a different path, we might have things to discuss. If you had not chosen death, the land might have been different. But you did, there can be only strife. So this turn I revived an Archbishop to add to my armies. That was very good. I did not find a site in one of the locations, but I did find a magic site in another. This is an Earth 1 site. And then there were a few battles. We'll go to the map to kind of explore those. The only thing I'll cover here is we had an event where I gained a bunch of unrest and lost population, which is not a big deal, but I did lose a ton of gold, which is a big deal. I lost 150 gold. It would be really nice if I could have taken luck 3 and trashed the rest of my scales, but then I would only have a tri-bless. So anyway, these are the costs I'm paying for that. Okay, let's take a look. We have another fort. So this fort finally finished. So you can see I have my full triangle now. And I think the last of the militia are kind of dying off. So now I just send in some lightning immune thug that can kill all these guys and I should be okay. Which actually I can forge the item, I think. Okay, next turn I will. I can get a smasher, and then if I have enough alteration, I think I might be able to send in somebody, so we'll see. So let's take a look at the combat. So I took the Throne Province back. This was held by Nazca. This was nothing but PD. So that's a quick fight. Nazca moved a big army here. So he saw that I had a small force here. And I can't remember where this force was. I think this force was maybe right here, and this force was right here. So he thought I would move to take this pathetic 4-income swap province back, and he was going to move all his troops on top of it to intercept me. That did not happen, however. He did move all his mercenaries in here. I'm hoping that he bid for them. That would have been really nice. I don't know if, because it was the last turn he would have had possession of them. I don't know if the bid actually would go through after they all died. But yeah, they all died. So this is a wasteland. It's probably low income. I can't remember. This one probably has 40 or 50 income. He has a few options from here. He can go and raid out farther, or he can try to fight. This move here was an indication he wanted to fight. And he probably wanted to fight my weak army, my army without sacreds, thinking that they would take it. I don't know whether he wants to fight an army with sacreds, but we'll see. If he does, he will move that army here. So one strategy I could have is moving both my armies here, but we'll see what I actually do. Here's where I started taking back more of the land from Ryla. You can see he's building up another force, which will come in. Here's where the battles were lost. But the good thing was the priest that was on here, he's already back in my fort. So, and if you look at it, I have tons of troops to give him. So that's all very good. And here was where my failed little expansion was. There's more troops here than there were before. There's 90. So this might be enough where he comes out. It's hard to say. This is another force. So if you look at it, he's got Defenders of the Hall, which you can see. You can see the Shard Guards behind it. There's a little head. So it looks like it's about a ratio of 3 to 2. And Ancient Ones. And his Pretender God is here. The Ageless Ohm is a Pretender. So Bink Wonko Jr. And we can double check that. Bink Wonko Jr. And we already know the Bless. It's a patron of the herbalists. It's a Nature 9, Water 4, Earth 4 Bless. So we already know what that Pretender looks like. It's highly likely, because if you look at it, he's got Defenders of the Hall. He could be moving this army here for 2 reasons. One is because he's about to finish a fort and wants to protect it, though I haven't moved anything here. The second is this army cannot really go up in the river, and there's no real reason it would want to. So it's extremely likely he's going to attack this province this turn with this army. He's going to attack this province with this army. So you can see we've got some more threats. I don't believe this will be coming through this turn, but it definitely could. And you can see there's a huge amount of Tiger Riders here, probably at least 40 or 50. And with the Blood Bless, that will be painful. So it's very likely he'll move out. He won't move here, I don't think. He'll probably move into one of these 2 provinces. If he's being aggressive, he'll move here. If he's being less aggressive, he'll move here. Hard to say, it's really a guess. So now I'm going to load up the turn file where I actually have all my moves in. Okay, so one thing I'm doing is I could claim this throne this turn. I would like to do it, get an extra 2 income, and then my troops will be a little better off. But this is my only troop who can defend this province. And I believe with this army, I should be able to take out his army if he attacks. If he doesn't attack, I can go ahead and start my conquest of the underground. I have chose to attack both these provinces. That may not be wise, and the reason is because I think this army could take all those guys, but I'm not totally sure. This army, I think, would also take these guys, but I'm not 100% sure. So merging them together, for example, if I thought he was going to attack here, because he's going to bring in troops probably from here, and he's also going to bring in this troop, it's highly likely he'll attack this province, so I could just overwhelm, and I could send this guy here. And there's a lot of synergy to having 2 Archliches together. Since Unholy, or Protection of the Sepulchre only gets a portion of your troops, I'll get much higher MR on all my troops. So that would be a very reasonable thing to do. In fact, I probably will do that. This is probably a 10 or 15 income province at best. So there's really little use in taking it. The bigger use is in wiping out his army. If, for example, I move this guy here, and he moves this main army here, and I'm sure he has a lot more troops now. This is from a big push he did about 6 or 7 turns ago. I would expect he has another troop swath he can pull in here. And I would much rather throw both my forces at it and hope I come out on top, rather than throwing one force at it and having high casualties and maybe barely winning or losing. The bad thing about this is I'm not set up to take either of these provinces back. This is probably a 40 income province, which I would really like. 40 income is a lot when you're here. The other thing I'll say that I did this turn, we're moving this Dusk Elder over. So I've now site searched all of my fort provinces. They're not fully searched, but they've had a Dusk Elder go over them. So this Dusk Elder is going to sneak over in this direction. He's going to start site searching the periphery. The ones that are one away from my forts are highly likely that I can defend them. As we go farther than that, it's not as likely. What I have done too, and this is important because I can't afford to lose a Dusk Elder, is I've put him at the back and I've put him on retreat. I have another Dusk Elder here where I'm doing the same thing. I've put him on retreat. He's going to start exploring this periphery for sites. Okay, so that's mostly it. I also am building a fort. I had to cancel recruitment, so you can see there's no recruitment here. There's no priests being recruited anywhere. So I'm going to have to remember to start that back up again, but I had to stop all of that in order to start building a fort this turn. Ideally, I would like to build a fort here. I could build a fort here if I put an army on top of it to defend it, but I do not want to commit an army to sitting right here. Especially with these guys floating around. Like, they may even be able to kill this army. This is probably my weakest of my big armies. So I really don't want to put anything here. The other thing is I've put these priests at the back and put them on retreat. So I'm expecting a fight here, which I'm hoping I win. The danger is now it is late fall of year 2. It's highly likely that they have Earthquake. If they have Earthquake, some of my troops will get massacred. Earthquake is 8 armor piercing damage. So versus a 10 protection troop, it's probably going to do, 4 plus damage, right? Which can kill it. I've only got 5 HP. So 2 earthquakes will probably kill most of my guys. But it's not going to kill these guys. So I'm actually not sure how the HP route works. I may load up a test game after this and figure it out. But if I'm really worried about an HP route, I may pull most of my troops. In fact, it's probably wise if I'm expecting an earthquake to pull most of my troops back and only let my elites go in. So I may do that. So this is what it's looking like right now. I've got this army too, which is coming out. It is now full strength. This was the army that I pulled off, or the Archlictor that I pulled off of Bandar Log's fort, and as you can see, it is much stronger than before. I've split this group up now, one into hold and attack closest, one into hold and attack rear. The thought being that the hold and attack closest will hopefully help with the tigers that run at my main force, while the hold and attack rear will do a ton of damage to his priest squad in the back. I have decided to move them here with the thought that he'll probably do a safe move rather than a major push, since he knows he cannot defend any territory he takes out here. But he may want to take some territory back. Like, he may do a safe move thinking, oh, I'll take this for one turn, and the next turn I'll move back into my fort where I'll be safe. If he does that, I'm going to catch him. He could also do the same thing coming here, but he probably thinks it's more likely that I put a troop here, so this is a higher risk province. So anticipating he'll take what he thinks is an easy province, I think he'll take this one. But he could go after this one too, because it's higher income. It's hard to say. This is really just a dice roll. So this is the main part. The other thing I'll say is I have a Mountain King. These are your guys who can go, these are your only aquatic commanders aside from your mages, and your mages generally you're not going to want to send underwater to lead troops. So he's going to go here. I've got some skeletons in front with some of my javelin throwing dudes right behind him. And I'm hoping that Ryla is lazy and doesn't have any underwater, or he doesn't have any province defense, sorry. If that's the case, I should take this pretty easily. I'll then make a decision, do I come back to land or do I push? I'm assuming I'm not going to really be able to do too much damage here. But at least this will preoccupy him some and not have him chasing me around on my land quite as much. I also just want to open up that there is a water threat. So that's the end of this turn, and I will catch you guys next time.